Who doesn't love a birthday? Going to birthday parties. We do these little annual celebrations every year to celebrate a person once a year. Well, the church does something similar on our calendar. We celebrate the birthdays of the martyrs, and by birthday I mean the day on which they died and were born into heaven. But we also celebrate, well, sort of birthdays of parishes and even dioceses. And today is one such feast. We celebrate today in the Archdiocese of Kansas City in Kansas our our birthday, kind of. We don't, celebrate the actual day on which the church was erected, but we do celebrate the anniversary on the day which the cathedral was dedicated. I know that's a weird day to celebrate, but that's kind of our birthday. In a parish, you celebrate the anniversary on the day in which the parish church was dedicated. But for a diocese, we celebrate as a whole diocese the anniversary on the day on which our cathedral was dedicated. Now, here in the Archdiocese of Kansas City in Kansas, we've had quite the history. We weren't always the Diocese of Kansas City. We started out as the apostolic vicariate of the Indian Territory east of the Rockies. Our diocese, our territory, literally went from Canada up north to Oklahoma in the south and all the way out to Pikes Peak in the west. That's a big territory. Eventually, that became the Diocese of Leavenworth. And what do you get when you get a diocese? Well, you get a cathedral. Now, sometimes people think about a cathedral as like some big, beautiful church, and they often are. But really, what makes a cathedral is that there's a special chair in it, because the Latin word for chair is cathedra. So the whole building gets its name from the cathedra, or the chair that's in there. And this is a special chair. It's a chair of the bishop. And it's a symbol, really, because just like a king would have his throne that kind of symbolizes his authority, so this cathedra, or special chair on which the bishop sits, symbolizes his authority governing the diocese. So the cathedral is whatever church has the bishop's chair in it, and it represents really the entire diocese, just like the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. kind of, well, it represents the United States and the governing authority. So a cathedral is a special building that kind of serves as a visible, tangible center of focus for the whole diocese. Often we do big liturgies like ordinations or chrism mass or things in the cathedral, since it's the principal church of a diocese. So to have a big feast day on which the whole diocese can celebrate our unity as a diocese, we celebrate the anniversary of the dedication of the cathedral, which for Kansas City happened on May 31st, 1948. Now, today is not May 31st, it's June 1st. What's up, Father Sean? Well, May 31st is the actual date of anniversary, but there's another big feast day on that, the presentation of the Virgin Mary now. So it gets perpetually transferred to the next day, which is June 1st, which means everybody else is celebrating Justin Martyr throughout the church today. Not in Kansas City. Sorry, Justin Martyr. You get perpetually axed because today, only locally in the Archdiocese of Kansas City, Kansas, we celebrate the anniversary of the dedication of our cathedral. Now, that's a bunch of liturgical nerd stuff, I know. What's it all about? Why do I care? Well, because ultimately God, who is pure spirit, knows that we as human beings are not pure spirit. We've got spirits, but we've also got bodies. We're both. We're body and spirit. So we experience our world in both bodily and spiritual ways. And if we get in touch with the spirit that we can't see, well, it's normally partly through our bodies that are tangible, so we need tangible things. So Jesus, the second person of the Holy Trinity, chose to become one of us so that we could see and touch God, who is invisible. In the same way, he knows that, well, we need visible, tangible things. We have our beautiful church buildings that are not just buildings, they're temples of God. You go in and you're going to find the Eucharist in the Blessed Sacrament. We also will need a tangible, visible sign of the ongoing ruling authority of Jesus over his church. So we have a chair. We have a cathedra that, just like the rabbis sat on the chair of Moses to teach, well, so the bishop today sits on his cathedra in his cathedral, and it's a sign to us that Jesus has not abandoned us. He promised he would give us shepherds, and he has. And they have their church with their chair, and today we celebrate the anniversary of the cathedral here in Kansas City, the Cathedral of St. Peter the Apostle. But more than that, we celebrate the fact that Jesus is with us, visibly, tangibly, in a symbol of a chair in a cathedral. And God bless you.